First of all, welcome to beautiful Spriggs Farm Park. This is one of Arundel County's hidden gems. What a beautiful place. It's a great reminder of why we love living in Arundel County so much. You may not be aware of this, but this is one of only 2 access points on public property for kayaks and canoes to get into the Magothy River. So this is a very, very important spot. And it is also a stop on the Magothy River Trail, which was developed by our friends at Magothy River Association. A great effort, I may add. Quality of life is a really important initiative for our administration, and it encompasses lots of different things. Everything from expanding our library system to building out bike trails, all sorts of things. But whenever you talk about quality of life in Arundel County, you have to talk about the water, right? The waterways are so important to our way of life, who we are as a people. We are the water people. 530 miles of Chesapeake Bay shoreline, more than any other jurisdiction anywhere. And our initiatives with respect to the water fall into 2 broad categories. One is improving the quality of our waterways. And we have launched the largest waterway cleanup effort in county history. Thank you, County Councilman Peruka, for your support of those efforts. $240 million over the next 6 years. And I don't know about you, and I can't prove it scientifically, but I just know from being on the water, and this past weekend I was out there, the water is cleaner than any other time in my lifetime.
Yeah.
It is absolutely coming back.
Yeah.
And we see that in the numbers with Chesapeake Bay Foundation, University of Maryland, other statistical measures of Bay Health. It's absolutely getting better, not as quick as we want, but at least it's moving in the right direction. It's way off a rock bottom and on its way to good health. The other aspect of it is water access. Water access is incredibly important in Arundel County, and for those of you who live in a water privileged community or members of a boat club, it's easy to sort of take it for granted that you have access to the water, but believe it or not, only 3% of that 530 miles of shoreline are publicly owned and therefore generally accessible to the public. So if you live away in the western part of the county or in the north, it's actually pretty hard to get to the water. So we're working really hard to open up swimming beaches, to increase our parks that are open to the public on a more regular basis for swimming. We are opening canoe and kayak launches at a high rate of speed all over the county. They're easy and quick to do. And while coming along a little more slowly, we're opening up trailered boat ramp launches, and over time, eventually, we will have a trailered boat launch on the north and south shore of every major river of the county. We opened our first one last year. We're going to open another one this year in Shadyside, and then we've got several more to go to build out the system. A lot of this effort toward access to the water is as a result of the efforts of the Water Access Commission of Anne Arundel County, which was preceded by Mike Lofton's organization, which was called, or is called,
Committee.
Water Access Committee.
Right.
Okay, and the Water Access Committee is a long-standing citizen group that sort of morphed into now an official commission of Anne Arundel County. Their work has been invaluable. Now, a lot of the things I talked about involve capital projects by the county, and that's kind of a lot of what we do is we put up the upfront capital to make these parks accessible and to make them happen, to give them the basic infrastructure that they need. But we cannot possibly achieve our goals for Bay Health or for water access on our own. We have to work in partnership with the private sector, the citizens group, the nonprofit organizations, and Spriggs Farm Park brings together 3, not only the Water Access Commission, but 2 other critically important partners in all of these efforts, the Magothy River Association and the Chesapeake Bay Trust. And when you have a chance to look around, you'll see the kiosk that MRA installed to show people what this water trail looks like and the sorts of, this is the trail itself. And if you travel along the trail by canoe or kayak or powered boat, you have lots of different stops. I think overall, 30-something stops?
I think 35, yep.
35 stops. And along the way, there are videos that you can access on YouTube to tell you about the area of interest where you happen to be at the moment. Maybe you're in Grays Creek or in Black Hole Creek. You can go online on YouTube, look up the video on Black Hole Creek, and it will tell you about the ecology, the flora, the fauna, the ecological history of the area just fascinating stuff, technology at work. So encourage everybody who's listening and here today to take advantage of this wonderful water trail. Also want to thank Chesapeake Bay Trust. I don't know if anybody's here today from Chesapeake Bay Trust, but they work really hard throughout the year, not only to preserve our most sensitive lands, but also to promote programs to allow people to have better enjoyment of these public lands. So with that, I want to present a citation to MRA and Chesapeake Bay Trust. Executive citation: the citizens of Anne Arundel County, Maryland salute the Magathie River Association in honor of Magathie River Day and the ribbon cutting ceremony of the Magathie River Water Trail Guide Kiosk at Spriggs Farm Park. Congratulations. Thank you, Paul.
Right here, guys. Right here, Paul.
Thank you very much. Just very briefly, very quickly, I'm privileged to be here and privileged to be a part of the success of Spriggs Farm and other parks. And I would like to just say that these things, although they're good ideas, they don't come into fruition by accident. They need champions, and I'm standing next to two champions right here. Steve Shue has shepherded these projects so that we can all enjoy our county. And there's no champion like Paul Spadaro. Just quickly, how many of you have a big sister? You have a big sister? I have two big sisters. What do you do when your big sister tells you to show up? What do you do when your big sister tells you what to do? You do it, right? Well, I kind of feel like Paul Spadaro is my big sister. I wanted to explain that first, okay? But because when he says show up and he says be a part of something, you can bet it's a worthwhile project, and he is a great champion of these things. And I'm privileged to be a part of this, and privileged to work with this gentleman as well, who is taking ideas and making them realities. Thank you very much.
And finally, I want to give these two gentlemen some T-shirts. So that's,
Thank you very much.
they're Magathie River T-shirts. They say a Magathie River volunteer. I know they always volunteer. And then on the back it has some of the local fish habitat. And I would like to take the opportunity to publicly thank Steve Shue and Parks and Rec. Without those improvements that sorely needed for public access, we could not have done the water trail. And I know sometimes Steve and I disagree on a lot of issues, but in this case, we're lockstep on public access. And today is a celebration of public access. Enjoy. Let's have some lemonade. Steve, you want to cut this cake? Great lemonade. Thank you. All right. Let's get some lemonade and have some cake.
All right.